Thyroid cancer. Causes, symptoms and treatment, and one way to see the thyroid cancer symptoms. The thyroid gland is a butterfly-formed gland which is there in the front of the neck. The thyroid gland produces two varieties of hormones. One in every of which is accountable for regulating the heartbeat, NR. The thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland that is there inside the front of the neck. The thyroid gland produces types of hormones. Considered one of which is accountable for regulating the coronary heartbeat, power levels and body temperature. And the other one controls the level of calcium within the frame. The thyroid. Most cancers is a medical circumstance, where the cells are produced and divided in the thyroid gland, but then those wouldn't die. Within the frame new cells are producing all the time and the die on the identical fee, and that is why there's a harmony. This concord is damaged with the aid of the start if the cells that are always developing and dividing, however those could now not die. This bizarre increase of cells in the thyroid gland might be known as thyroid cancer. Each disease has a hard and fast of signs, and thyroid cancer isn't any extraordinary. The cancer growth inside the thyroid gland will be indicated with the aid of the lump or noodle surfacing up on the front neck simply near the Adam's apple. If you are locating it hard to speak or are feeling hoarseness, might be a demonstration of thyroid. Most cancers. Lymph nodes get swollen inside the neck. The character suffering from the thyroid. Most cancers might have troubles respiratory and swallowing things and might be experiencing pain in the neck and the throat. A lot of these signs and symptoms might not important say that the person has thyroid cancer. These are indication that would name for a take a look at up to know the root purpose, which may additionally or won't be thyroid. Most cancers. Physical exam by using the doctor, a blood test, radionuclide scanning and biopsy will be the approaches of ensuring if these symptoms are the indication of thyroid. Most cancers. The breaking of the information to someone about the thyroid. Most cancers will be quite dramatic in nature and could be shocking and disturbing, no longer handiest for the affected person, however additionally for the circle of relatives. It's far vital that the affected person is supported by means of the family so that he is fine all of the time. This will help many folds all through the remedy process. Ideally, the treatment must begin inside few weeks of the diagnoses. The doctor might refer you to the experts who can deal with most cancers. The specialist could undertake diverse tactics to relaxation the cancer, relying upon the ground realities of the patient. Surgeons, clinical oncologists, endocrinologists and radiation oncologists are sure remedy options. In the course of the entire manner, the doctor and the patient need to be talking intensive approximately the decision across the remedy. It might be a great concept to take a 2D opinion on the advice given by the first health practitioner. This doesn't mean which you are distrusting the health practitioner. It is just a way to be very sure approximately what you're moving into. Subsequently, whilst a treatment is decided, computer generation articles, the equal have to be defined honestly to the patient, and the affected person must believe the equal and best, then the identical might be proceeded with. A nice outlook is critical. One way to see the thyroid cancer symptoms. One of the maximum critical things that would end up the maximum popular suppose that you need to be privy to is the thyroid. Most cancer signs and symptoms. There are certainly such a lot of styles of signs which you are able to recognize if you are predicting of struggling this form of infection. In this era where the entirety now could be converting and growing very swiftly, there are such a lot of things that you need to be aware about on your life, in order that you will be able to stay in this life very well. One of the maximum essential matters that would end up the maximum famous thing that you want to be privy to is the thyroid cancer signs. This type of element has truly become one of the maximum dreadful nightmare that human beings may have ever had. No longer all the people are involved enough approximately the thyroid. Most cancer signs and symptoms that would happen to you or your own family. It's far due to the fact, this type of contamination come what may do not show its important signs and symptoms earlier than. So, you will be able to recognize that you are suffering this type of thing proper after you have got suffering it from the worst stadium. This is why you have to be aware of the signs and symptoms that has probably took place to you. Article seek, so that the first aid might be able to receive to you as soon as feasible. There are clearly so many kinds of signs that you are capable of understand in case you are predicting of suffering this kind of contamination. One component that you have to be conscious in case you are feeling to be suffered from this form of aspect is this type of contamination will display the clear signs if it is beginning worse. You may feel the swollen part of your neck in case you are touching your neck. This sort of element is the specific symptoms of the thyroid cancer signs and symptoms. Choose a thyroid problem remedy. Do you have low thyroid characteristic or hypothyroidism? Right here are a few signs of low thyroid or hypothyroidism. Do you need assist to look if you would possibly have low or high thyroid hormone output? This records is what you need when you have thyroid troubles. Take a look at this text to get some thoughts on how to get started along with your thyroid trouble. Recently will verge of collapse, fitness researcher and creator, wrote an article about how extra thyroid stimulating hormone, which is released via the pituitary gland, can motive low thyroid feature, or hypothyroidism. This happens whilst your thyroid is susceptible and wishes greater thyroid stimulating hormone to get it operating well. If that is the case together with your thyroid, probabilities are that your thyroid is operating underneath average in releasing its very own hormone, thyroxine. And, when you are underneath numerous pressure, your thyroxine can be used up on its manner to your cells. The thyroid thyroxine hormone is needed via any one cell to assist convert vitamins into the strength that your frame wishes. Without this power, your whole frame slows down, inclusive of your mind, and you experience rundown, depressed, and discover it tough to pay attention. If you have a vulnerable thyroid and low thyroxine output, you may have symptoms that you may not partner along with your thyroid. In fact, these signs and symptoms can be related to different fitness troubles. Right here is a number of the signs related hypothyroidism, low thyroxine output. You experience fatigued, tired or run down, you have got hassle concentrating, you've got melancholy and horrific moods, you're cranky and difficult to get in conjunction with, you have got abnormal intervals and might have problem getting pregnant, you experience bloodless while other people feel warm, your hair starts off evolved to fall out or thin down, you can expand constipation, you may have boom levels of cholesterol, you may advantage weight, you could expand hoarseness for your voice, you could broaden a gradual heartbeat. Many of us have low tiers of thyroxine and we don't recognize. I realize that in the past I've examined myself and observed that I had hypothyroidism. Now recent research has associated hypothyroidism with the cardiac circumstance tachycardia. Tachycardia is a heart situation that causes the coronary heart to conquer extra than 100 beats per minute. You could take a look at to see if you have hypothyroidism, the usage of the basal approach. On this technique you measure your underarm temperature with a basal thermometer 4 or extra days in a row. Your herbal temperature ought to be among 97, 2F and 98. 2F. In case your temperature is down at 97. 2F, you can want to raise it back to normal at 97. 7F or maybe to 98. 0. Of root, if its miles decrease or higher than ordinary, you'll need to seek advice from your physician. To measure your frame temperature, it's miles nice to use a tumbler thermometer and not a virtual one. The thermometer accuracy you need is 0. 1F. For low thyroid function, docs will typically prescribe a synthetic thyroid hormone, thyroxine or triiodothyronine. A desiccated red meat thyroid gland which incorporates positive quantities of thyroid hormone. The principal logo is Armor Thyroid. This product is now not as effective because it changed into as soon as. So you want to avoid using this product. Now, you should buy a thyroid tissue extract over the internet or at your health food store. This extract is permitted over the counter due to the fact that, by regulation, it cannot include any lively thyroid hormones. Maximum alternative practitioners will endorse this extract since they experience it's going to construct and assist your thyroid. For my low basal temperature studying, I purchased Thyroid 120, thyroid tissue extract, from Molecular Biologics. My temperature became on the low give up. This complement carries 120 mg of bovine thyroid tissue. The one caution this bottle has is, in case you experience signs of insomnia, heart palpitations, anxiety or nervousness, free internet content, stop at us. You may find many extraordinary thyroid extract merchandise and basal thermometers by means of searching Google. With stem cell therapy, you can cure any form of cancer while you are seated in your house. To get stem cell product for use or as a distributor, please subscribe and share our YouTube channel. Thank you.